What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today I want to talk about African American soul food and how we need to stop letting people disrespect our food. We have to stop letting people disrespect our food, and we need to stop disrespecting our food because we let other people disrespect our food, and we just take on the sentiment of African American soul food is all trash, it's bad for you. Have you noticed, you didn't hear anybody else saying that their ethnic food is trash and bad for you in general, just off default? Notice that only African American food do you hear people say, it's bad for you, it's not good for you, that's trash, it's garbage, it's killing you. African American, like they equate soul food, everything black, they try to put a negative tint to it. But in reality, everything black, well, not everything black, let's keep it real, let's not be stupid here, but a lot of our black things that people like to punch down on is excellent, and they want it. Everybody knows African Americans, we make some of the best fucking food on the planet, and our food is not no fucking heart attack. That's white people food. That's white people food. If anything, it's white people oil that makes certain foods bad for you. It's not black people food. Tell me what's so disgusting about greens. Tell me what's so disgusting about cornbread. Tell me what's so unhealthy about any food that we cook. I know some black people who are contrarians, they don't know shit. They talk about pork. Did you know that pork is one of the best foods? Now, we're not talking about your religious bias, right? That some people, they think it's cool to say, I don't eat pork, I don't eat that swine. Don't you know we've been eating pork for hundreds of thousands of years? That's been one of the main staples of foods that we've been eating. Pork is a white meat. It's actually better than all the other meats that we eat. But you see a lot of people who are uneducated and they just follow trends, religious trends. They don't know that. They think by them saying, I don't eat swine, that they're above something. Like, no, fool, you're just uneducated. You don't know that pork is a good meat. It's a good white meat. Pork has more nutrients and benefits to the body than most meat, right? We eat beef all day. Beef is not as good as pork. We ain't got no problem eating beef, right? So what exactly is it about African American? What is in African American food that makes our food so goddamn not good for you, heart attack, waiting to have all that shit, right? Compared to white people and European food people and their cream-based foods, their milk-based foods, huh? What about India and their foods? What about Latinos and their food? Well, their Latino food is really African food, for real. Well, the food that tastes good is African food. Yeah, and the French food that tastes good is also African. Yeah, for the most part. All the good European food is really African inspired. All the Latino food that tastes good is African inspired. Let's be honest. But can you really pinpoint, if you break down all the things that we cook, what's inherently bad about it? And we talk about shit like chitlins and hog maw pig. Don't you know everybody eats chitlins? They just don't call it chitlins. Don't you know every country eats chitlins? They have their own version of what we call chitlins. They prepare it, some people prepare it in similar ways and other ways. They have different names. You don't hear them say, I eat pork ass. Don't you know Native Americans, Polynesians, Africans, people who are in tune with nature, when we kill another creature in order to eat it for our own sustenance, we don't waste any of it. We eat all that, all the organs, all the body parts. We use all the skin, we use the bones, we use everything. You see, melanated black people, we don't look at the organs and the other parts of the animal as bad meat. It's not. That's white people shit. They want the pristine piece of meat with the least amount of nutrients. What white people has set the standard of what is good meat and what is bad meat, and we still follow that shit like they're the fucking authority. Last time I checked, Africans have been hunting for millions of years and consuming animals for millions of years before there was a such thing as a white person. What the hell are y'all talking about? So I think African people in general and African American food specifically, people need to put more respect on our soul food. Because just because everybody eat our food is seasoned, for people to say it's so bad they can't help but to eat it, right? And look at all the older folks who eating that same soul food. They was in good shape. Our black people used to be eating good. We weren't overweight. We were eating good. Our parents, our grandparents was living 80, 90 years. You go to Africa, the average, they living 80, 90 years eating our black African food. A lot of the foods African Americans don't even realize are originated in Africa that we brought over here, like the okra, the rice, you know, shit like that we eat. Certain the yams and all that shit that we brought over here when we were brought over here, you know, during the transatlantic slave trade. So I'm just saying we need to put more respect on our food. Our food is wonderful. Our food is great, and our food can be cooked healthy. Now, we can cook unhealthy versions, meaning using the wrong type of grease, using the wrong type of oil, right? But we can cook our food healthy, and it tastes good at the same time. So I'm just saying, I just get tired of hearing people disrespect our food, our culture, our food that we created, our culture. The combination, African American food is a combination of African food from various different African people groups that brought their foods and used certain foods here to supplement for the foods they couldn't find, the vegetables and ingredients they couldn't find in West Africa. They supplemented it to make the very same African foods that they were used to eating in Africa. That's what we're eating in America. We're just a multicultural African food with a little bit of European influence with the milk and some of the other little stuff, and you know, and then in the Caribbean you got the Indian influence with the curry and things like that. But for the most part, African food consistently throughout wherever we are is the best food. We make better food than everybody on the planet, period. No questions. We've been doing it longer, we have more experience. So, you know, this video is not all that important in the grand, you know, really compared to other things that's important, but still it's important to me. It should be important to us. Stop letting people disrespect different aspects of our culture. We need to start having some respect for ourselves. Because you go ahead and start disrespecting other people and their food culture. Watch how they jump on you. But we allow people to disrespect our food culture, and we also, for some reasons, disrespect our food culture, thinking that being a contrarian is gonna, you know, put us in a different position from where you are before you said the dumb shit out your mouth. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn some, teach them. I'm out.